I know where I am with the Strat, and I know pretty much what sort of music I'm going to play with it. And if you were to hand me an SG, I'd probably play something like this. And if you handed me an acoustic, well, I'd of course grab my capo, place it at the 2nd fret, and you know the rest. But when it comes to nylon string guitars, they scare me. And yes, in here is a nylon string stage guitar from Cordoba. And quite honestly, I've avoided making this video for a while because I am scared of this instrument. But I've decided that this is the day. So, in this case is the Cordoba Stage, and it came to me from Cordoba. So this is an unboxing and review. That is pretty stunning. It looks like a sort of wine red flame top. Let's take that out. Oh, I wonder if there's stuff in the pocket. There is. There's a little book. A stage user manual. I'm going to need that, that's for sure. And hope it's got lessons. There's a truss rod adjustment Allen key. It's a very pretty instrument, and as a musician, I can't wait to actually start playing it. But as a YouTuber and someone who is non-skilled in the nylon string way, I'm pretty nervous. And that's kind of the point of this guitar, because it's aimed at steel string and electric guitar players that want to push into nylon strings. It is a very thin body, so it's not the old school nylon string that you find in the back of the cupboard. It is meant for the stage, so it's got a pickup system in it, and there's the output jack, this is the volume, this is the EQ, and this is what's called body blend. It's a set neck, and that looks quite easy to get up there. So again, more scariness. There's an access panel just here on the back, so you can go in and have a look at the electronics. And speaking of electronics, there is the battery compartment for the preamp. And I have no problem reviewing this as in my style, but I want to make sure that I do some sort of musical examples that you expect from this guitar. So I'm going to plug into the Boss Katana and for the first time ever use the acoustic amp setting. Never done that before. And then I'll try something that I think you'd expect from this, and then we'll put it through a bunch of pedals as well and through some overdrive channels, and yeah, we'll do something non-expected, unexpected. I'm actually quite pleased with that. That's something I was writing the other day in preparation for this, and I think it sounds pretty nice. The guitar itself, I think, sounds beautiful. It's not just the Boss Katana. I'm getting a bit of help from the Walrus Audio ambient reverb, because I think this needs a lot of reverb. So that's without the ambient. This is with it. I always get to that bit and realize I can't play it any further. I think it sounds gorgeous. As an electric player, you might be expecting on a nylon string a big old wide fat fretboard, and this isn't. I mean, I have big hands. If you don't know already, if you're new to the channel or something, I love big fat necks. This is quite slim, a little wider than normal. So we're gonna have to measure that. So calipers at the ready. The nut on this is 49 millimeters. And for contrast, the Les Paul I measured yesterday was 43 millimeters. So 6 millimeters difference, which is a fair amount. It doesn't feel that much because it's a slimmer neck. So you're looking at a solid maple top on here with a maple flame veneer. This color is called garnet or garnet, I'm not sure, but it's deep red, you know. Then this is a chambered mahogany back and a mahogany neck, and that fretboard is of course Pau Ferro. Yeah, you thought it was going to be rosewood, didn't you? No, that's Pau Ferro, but it's a lovely example of it. The body thickness, if you're wondering, is, be careful, 42 millimeters. Hang on, specs say 40. No, that's definitely 42. Yep, 42 millimeters. There are 22 frets. I'd call that slim frets in electric guitar terms. I don't know what that is in nylon string terms. That looks like a bone nut to me. The neck joins the body here at about the 13.5 fret, so halfway between the 13th and 14th fret. It has a dual action truss rod, meaning that you can go both ways. And I don't see why every guitar doesn't have that, so well done, Cordoba. And these beautiful tuners are black and gold, and that it looks it looks like ebony, but I don't know what it is. It feels, I don't know, it looks great. I don't care what it is. It looks great, and they're quality. While we're talking about aesthetics, it is a bit weird that it doesn't say Cordoba up here. It just has the Cordoba logo, which you can also see here with these 3 holes. The wooden knobs are, well, I assume they're wooden, or are they some kind of resin? They look wooden. They turn beautifully. That is some quality electronics going on there. Very pleasurable to turn. If you haven't seen already, the neck is set in and glued, not bolted or anything like that. And it feels very comfortable. It feels almost as big body-wise as an acoustic sort of, I don't know, say J45 Martin sort of thing as well. But it feels slim like an electric thanks to this little body cutaway we have here. If there's any more specs you want, there'll be a link in the video description, so you can go there for that. But I want to play it. I don't know if you can hear it unplugged. Let's do that for a moment. So it's not as loud as a big body nylon string. Of course it isn't. You've got a smaller body, and that's not what it's for. It's designed to be on stage and, well, plugged in. So let's have some plugged in samples. I've got these knobs turned all the way up. Body blend. Ah, so there's some resonance sort of stuff in here. That's very cool. And as for the EQ, that's all the way up, which means it's scooped. So that's, let's turn the body resonance about half the way. There, about half of the blend. That is the EQ all the way on. Kind of like it, 50% on the blend and 50% on the EQ. It's really fun, but I wonder how much of that fun is coming from all the ambience. Let's turn it off. It's still fun, but I've noticed I'm having trouble knowing where to play because of the lack of fret markers. So I've got fret markers just here on the top, but there's nothing on the fretboard, which is normal for a nylon string, but I'm finding that odd. I had to be careful there because I'm getting this bass that I should probably cut out. Let's see what happens if I do the EQ. There it is. So that EQ is much more useful than a tone knob, as you'd find on electric. It just went straight to it and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. It's very powerful. What about this blend? Let's have it all the way up. I enjoy it much more with that body blend sort of over halfway, but it's not very forgiving. So I'm getting my laziness in my playing of, you know, sort of putting my fingers wherever I want is showing out in the sound. Beautiful. Very creative. I love a bit of tapping. Let's hear how it sounds with a bit of drive. Maybe some fuzz to begin with. That's fun, and it's possible. It's quite loud in here. I never thought I'd be putting a nylon string through a fuzz pedal, and it's sounding, and be careful here with my word, I love it. I think it's good, but also not too crazy. Like, that's a usable sound. And because it's nylon string, I can get those crazy bends in there, and you could do that on an electric. You definitely could do that on an electric, but there's something here that's different. But I know that's not why Cordoba made this, so I guess I should stick to more acoustic stuff. What I like about that is that you still get this sound from the strings, so you get more clarity through your fuzz. Still getting the fuzz. Nice. But I had to test it. Had to be done. I'm not going to justify it any further. I had a good time. It sounds good. Move on. When I picked up this guitar, the first thing I wanted to learn to play was a piece called Grand Vowels. And if you don't know it, you'll definitely recognize it at the end, but this is going to be me butchering it, trying to show you what the guitar can do. I might not even play all of it. Ah. That's as much as I can play from that bit, but then that bit goes.
20 minutes later.
Finally got it. That was really tough. And I knew that when I did that last one, that was going to be it. This is an absolute joy to play, and to my ears sounds fantastic through the Boss Katana. I'm not sure whether this is an advantage or a disadvantage to you, but I have nothing to compare this to, really. I've not spent so much time with this style of instrument, which is why I was scared of it. And it just reminds me of going to, at school lunchtimes, going into the music room and trying to find a spare space, and there just being one guitar left, and it was a nylon string with maybe 4 strings on it. This is so far from that. It's a joy to play, and I think it sounds absolutely gorgeous. And the ones at school, it was obviously my playing has, not obviously, hopefully my playing has improved since I was at school. But I never would have attempted this back then. And this sort of guitar back then would have been hell of expensive. As it stands now, the Cordoba Stage is going to set you back around 700 notes, whatever that is in your region. So make sure to look in the link in the video description to find out. So it's not a budget guitar, but it does not perform or behave like a budget guitar. We do need to talk about the case it comes in, because it is a very soft, light case. It's got adequate padding, but it isn't a flight case by far, but it has really good zips and really good pockets. So you're going to need to carry a capo, you're going to need to carry a book or something, and it will fit in there, and then your cable will go on there as well. I much prefer that to a hard case, because it's also got backpack straps and this little boot on the bottom so you can lay it down. It is a very squeaky case, and it's quite a squeaky guitar because it's very clean. I don't think this is someone's first nylon string, but I think it's definitely second or possibly third. And if you need a stage nylon string, this is a great place to look. I'm really having a lot of fun with this. I feel musical, you know? That being said, I do want to open it up in the geeky way that I do and take a look in there to see what exactly is going on with this this system here. So we'll do that now. DJI time, baby. So let's crack this open. Wow. All right. There's more going on than I was expecting. I was just expecting some pots and maybe a capacitor or something. But that's an active preamp, of course. Okay, that's the preamp. I thought it was just the tone stack. There appears to be... I thought it was a USB thing. I am out of it today. Right, that is a lot going on the preamp. There's some sort of trim pot or something there that I'm definitely not going to touch. And then the board, should you want it to come out, you can unplug it simply and then unscrew it just there. What does that say? Nylon blend, Cordoba Stage, Fishman. Ah, it's made by Fishman. Well, that's interesting. Can you see that? Is that too blurry? There we go. Right, I'm going to screw this back together and talk at the same time, because I can. The Cordoba Stage, as I said at the beginning of the video, scared the life out of me. It feels like a real instrument. It feels like it needed respect, regardless of the price point. It is still out of my comfort zone. However, it's the most comfortable I've felt playing a nylon string since school. And I hated those. So there's something inside me that hates nylon strings. And if that's you, this is pretty far from that. It really isn't, a kid's guitar or something like that. This is a true instrument. And putting it through that fuzz was immense fun, but I wanted to test it, like, from a recording point of view. I would want one of these in the studio just to do that kind of thing, like use it unusually, because you can get feedback and stuff from the guitar that you wouldn't be able to get with anything else. And with the nylon strings on there, or the nylon set, it is going to bend differently and feel differently. As a mainly electric player with large hands, this feels very comfortable. You might have some issues if you have smaller hands, but it's nice and slim, so that shouldn't be a problem. And as for all the hardware, woods, and everything used, I think it's top notch. I just can't compare it to something more expensive, like an actual Spanish-made guitar made by a person in a Spanish place, because I've never played one. However, I think it sounds great, and might be great just for your Bon Jovi tribute band. If this gorgeous garnet red is not your bag, then you can, of course, get it in other colors. I've seen them in natural and another kind of red and a black burst, which is very, very classy. Thank you to Cordoba for sending this out for review. It's a positive review, and thank you to you for watching. I hope something good happens to you today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Ow.